Good morning, everybody. It's about 7 o'clock. It didn't end up raining at all last night, which was nice. Though there is a storm right across the way, along with a big old rainbow right there, which is really cool. It was there when I climbed out of the tent this morning. And I don't really have any service here, and I can't pull up radar to see what that storm's doing. So I'm probably going to have to set up the Starlink just so I can make sure that storm's not going to hit, and because I'd hate to put away camp and then realize that I need to set the tent back up because a nasty storm's coming. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the Starlink and get breakfast going. So that's kind of the plan. But it is a absolutely beautiful morning. So I've checked radar, and it looks like that storm right there is going to pass like a mile south of me. So I think I'm going to wait for that to pass just in case it whips up the lake real bad. There's a good chance that it will. And so I think it's going to roll past in about 20 minutes. So not too big of a deal. And for breakfast, I have Rocky Mountain Scramble again, along with some coffee. So I'm going to enjoy that while waiting for this storm to go by. It's kind of weird to be in the sun and hear thunder and lightning. But yeah, so it's going to pass literally within a mile is what radar's showing. So it's better to stay on shore than get out there and have to hop back on shore because it gets real nasty really fast. That is what this lake is known for, is just instantly turning bad. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm going to slowly start picking things up that I can, and then see what happens with this rain. Okay, it's about 8 o'clock, and there's been a lot of lightning and thunder, but so far everything's going south and the winds haven't picked up. So just gotta wait a little bit longer for this storm to roll all the way past. Well, the winds picked up quite a bit on the backside of this storm, which is kind of what I was expecting. So just gonna wait until it calms down. Hopefully it'll be within an hour and the lake will be back to normal, and I can get back out there and have a good day. Getting a little bit of rain. Well, I'm pretty glad I left the tents up. So the storm has finally rolled past. It's moved over there, and the lake is starting to calm down. So I'm gonna get everything packed up and out onto the water. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock. That rainstorm kind of threw everything off a little bit for the morning, but that's okay. It's just part of the trip. So, yeah, it's already getting hot. So I'm sweating pretty good already. There is a heat advisory out for pretty much all afternoon. So it could be a fun one. With this rain that just went through, it's a lot more humid than I'm used to up here. Normally there's very little humidity in it. It's really nice. So today might be sweating a lot today, but we'll just see how it goes. I got a lot of water like within reach today, so I can just keep drinking water, staying cool, and hopefully I'll have a good day. The lake's calming down, and hopefully I can make some good miles. So it's a little after 10:30. I'm on the water. The lake is almost completely calm, but there is like no air movement, so it is pretty hot. So I'm probably going to set up my sunshade because the wind has died down, and just pedal all day long. So that point right there, I've been heading towards it for, I don't know, 45 minutes now, half hour. And it's probably another hour away. And then after that, you just pick another point and you just pedal. So these lakes aren't exactly exciting, but luckily I've got my phone here, keep me entertained as I just pedal all day long. But it's just part of the trip. There's exciting parts and there's boring parts, and this is one of the boring parts. But still, I got to enjoy the nice weather and use it as much as I can and get as far as I can while the lake's calm. So it's about 11:30, and I came around the last point behind me, and there's a little bit of a breeze coming in as a headwind, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It is really helping me stay cool. It was pretty hot before this breeze showed up, so I'm making pretty decent mileage at the moment, and I've got an open water crossing. It's not very big, it's less than a mile. And then the lake kind of turns to the right there and continues in that direction towards those hazy hills. So that's the next couple hours. So I was told that there is a restaurant and campground about a half mile off the water back in that bay, but I think I'm good for today. It is, just about noon, but I think I'm gonna just try and take advantage of the good weather and just keep going. So I'm heading towards this far point right here, which is a couple miles away. I'm kind of cutting this corner a little bit, but it's such a nice day, I don't see why not. So it's just about noon, and for lunch I have menu number 8, meatballs and marinara sauce. So basically, spaghetti and meatballs. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat that as I'm trying to get across this open water crossing. Okay, so it's a little after 1 and I finally made it across. So because I decided to cross pretty much the middle of the lake, I started all the way over about there. So it ended up being about 5 miles. So that took a really long time, and while I was out in the middle, the wind picked up a little bit. I had like foot waves for a little bit and then it calmed down again. So not exactly ideal, but I made it. So yeah, the whole time I was out there, I was just remembering that I was specifically told not to do that on this lake of what I just did, because this lake is very prone to changing very quickly. So yeah, we'll see if I do that again, because probably wasn't the smartest. I knew that nothing was supposed to happen today. It's like one of the calmest days ever, but still not particularly smart. That's okay, I made it, and we're just gonna keep going. So I believe I am about 24 miles away from Mobridge. So with that, I'm gonna try to get most of that done today, is kind of the goal. So I'm ready to keep going. So last night I was reading ahead just a little bit on the guidebook The Complete Paddler by Dave Miller, and he said that through this section there was a whole bunch of trees, like whole forests of trees sticking out of the water. So that book was written 20 years ago. So I'm curious to see how many trees are still here. I do see a couple sticking out of the water, like 5 or 6 from here. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it and make sure we don't hit any, hopefully. So he made it sound like it was horrible, and even went so far as to say some paddlers should be driven around this section. So yeah, I'm interested to see if they're still a thing, and if they're all just underwater now at this point. And I just noticed right there on shore, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's 2 mule deer right on the shoreline staring at me because I'm talking. But pretty cool. You don't see too much wildlife on these lakes, so really interesting. A doe with her fawn. Alright, it's 2 o'clock. I've been heading towards these trees for quite a while, and now I picked the next point, which is off in the distance, and according to Google it's 2 miles away. So just gonna keep heading towards that for the next probably close to an hour. So I just came around the next point, and the lake kind of comes up and curves around, and it's 9 miles to the far point right about there. So woo, there's a good, probably the rest of the day if I had to guess. It's 3:30 now, so we'll see how it goes. Well, the wind has kind of picked up a little bit, so the waves aren't too bad, but it's definitely slowing me down a little bit. So not exactly awesome, but what can you do? So definitely going to slow me down this afternoon, and but that's okay. So I have one of the snacks that I got was a massive bag of kettle corn. So I have that next to me, and I'm snacking on that as I pedal. And yeah, this is the rest of my afternoon: kettle corn and watching a YouTube video while pedaling into the wind. Pretty exciting stuff. Alright, so I had a quick bathroom break, and I'm heading back on the water now. got 7 more hours of the afternoon to pedal. So luckily it's actually not that hot. There's enough wind that I'm not even sweating, so that's very nice. The heat advisories up here and the ones in Missouri just aren't quite the same things. But still, I'm glad that it's still a nice and cool day. Alright, so it's about 7, and I've had a really good afternoon. With the headwind, it's definitely slowed me down. I haven't made too many miles, but I'm about 20 miles away from Mobridge, which is nice, but I have a big, nasty storm heading towards me, according to radar. I just noticed it's kind of darker over there, and says that I've got about less than an hour before a pretty nasty cell hits me. So with that, I think I'm going to start looking for a good campsite, and we'll get camp set up and go from there. Hopefully radar's wrong, but it looks like it's heading straight for me, so looks like the storm that didn't hit last night is going to hit tonight. Okay, I'm a little out of breath from dragging the boat up out of the water, but I think this is where I'm going to camp. I'm in a little bay here, and the storm is coming from right behind that mountain, little hill, not mountain, the big chunk of dirt in front of me. So hopefully that'll block some of the wind, and it won't be quite as bad here. So I think I'm going to set the tent up on this little flat area here and pull the boat a little bit more out of the water and get things set up, because it looks like it's heading straight for me. Now, unfortunately, there's no phone service here, so that kind of sucks. But we'll see if we can. Oh, I've got two bars of 4Gs. That might be enough to load radar during the storm. We'll see. I like to be able to see what it's doing, but I don't have to. So I'm going to get the tent set up, and the best part is, with it like this, it'll be pointed in the perfect direction for the storm. So this is good, working out. So I'm not too excited about the fact that this is all dried mud. It's going to be very nasty in the morning, but I have rubber boots and it'll be fine. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to get to work, get everything set up before the storm gets too much closer, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it's pretty dark over there, and it's kind of the calm before the storm. All the wind from this afternoon is gone, and I've got the tent set up. So I typically don't completely stake it out every evening because it just takes so long. So each side has 3 guidelines that come out that are kind of angled, and then when I know it's going to storm, I put in 3 stakes at each point there where the poles are to really make this thing rock solid. And then there are 2 stakes on each end that hold the shape of it. So this is the way that the manufacturer says is the best storm profile, is with the vestibule towards the storm. So that's what I've got for the storm today. It looks like, according to radar, it looks pretty nasty. So we'll see if it actually hits us. But if it does, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, so I've got these guidelines actually angled towards the storm. So as much, steadiness as possible. So now all I have to do is get all of my stuff into the tent, figure out supper, and edit a video while I wait for this storm to move in. So it's still actually pretty early in the evening. I've still got like 2 hours of sunlight, but that big old storm's causing issues. So I got rain delayed this morning and this evening today, which is a little annoying, but can't control the weather. And according to my phone, it's going to rain. They're calling for rain again at like 7 a.m. in the morning, so it'll be another rain morning. So Hawaii has a lot of weather. So but yeah, I kind of knew that going in, so what can you do? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab all my stuff, get it in the tent, and get the kayak ready for a big storm, and then go from there. So the boat's down there, it's all staked down and tarped, so it's good for the evening. And I am now in a severe thunderstorm warning, and the The weather app can't decide if it's going to go just east of me or actually hit me. So, 50-50. So we'll see. And for supper, I have beef stroganoff with noodles by Mountain House. So looking forward to that. I'm pretty hungry, and I have a big old mess to organize. All of this stuff is just crammed in there. So most of it goes in the tent, but yeah, I got to get that figured out. And then, yeah, it's going to storm soon, and it's full sun out right now. So the tent's getting hot, which is just lovely. So I'm probably going to stay out here. There's just enough wind to keep the bugs away until a little bit closer, and then I'll hop in there and ride this storm out if it hits. So I noticed my tent's up a little higher, but back behind here is a bit of a puddle. Looks like water can stand here for a while, and I don't want anything to do with that. So I took my shovel and dug a little trench here just to make sure all the water flows out before it gets anywhere near rising up to the tent level. Hopefully unnecessary, but it didn't take that long with my little trenching shovel I have. So yeah, now I'm gonna get things organized and cook some supper. Alright, so it's about 9 o'clock, and it looks like after all that build up for this storm, it went to the south of me, and I don't know that it's even gonna rain. So that's not really a bad thing. So I got the video edited, and I'm enjoying my beef stroganoff. And yeah, it's been a very enjoyable evening. There's enough wind to keep all the bugs down, and it's fairly cool. So I'm enjoying myself. So it's about 10:30. I had a really good evening. I just got the video uploaded, and I've got a big storm to the north and to the south, but they both missed me. So I'm very happy about that. And I think I'm gonna hop into the tent and go to bed because the mosquitoes are pretty bad out right now. But I'm very glad these storms missed me. So I'm in the tent, and I forgot to close out the video, and hopefully next you'll be seeing a very cool time lapse that I've been taking all evening. Hopefully the footage didn't corrupt, and it looks very interesting watching that storm form and turn into a giant thunderstorm as the sun sets. So we'll see how that turns out tomorrow as I edit it. So with that, I think I'm going to say good night. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So I'm going to play a hymn on the Saturday for me because of this time lapse that I have, and I'm having a hard time remembering which songs I've played so far on the trip. They're all kind of blending together. So I'm going to play today Because He Lives, and I don't think I've played this before, but I'm not entirely sure. So here is Because He Lives on the harmonica.